Hey guys, Tyler here. I'm really excited about today because I'm going to share with you my top 20 tips for first-time home buyers. Whether you're a first-time home buyer starting right now or you're looking to do it a year or 2 years down the road, you're about to get out of school and you're going to want to start that process. These are my top 20 tips that I would recommend any first-time home buyer looking to buy a home to follow, or things to consider to make sure that you're fully prepared for the entire process. So before we get started, I just want to say thanks for your support. Consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up if you like content like this. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be working backwards. So we're going to start with number 20. And that is, do not assume you're going to get the best deal with the bank that you currently bank with. You're going to want to talk with multiple banks, at least 3 banks. You've heard that probably over and over, but don't assume just because that you are banking with your current bank that you're going to get the best deal. Here's the reality, is that banks offer free checking because it's the easiest way to get customers to their bank. And they know that that client is more likely to reach out to the bank they bank with than going somewhere else for a mortgage, and that's where they make their money. That's how banks make their money. And I bank at First National Bank, and I don't actually have my mortgage to them. Their rates are actually a quarter higher than everywhere else. Their fees are higher than everywhere else. So when you're talking to multiple banks, you need to look at 3 things. Number 1, look at the interest rate. Number 2, look at the fees, the underwriting, the processing, and origination fees. And then 3, you want great customer service. If you focus on those 3 things, when you're interviewing different banks, you're not going to go wrong and you're going to find out a great deal. And moving right along to number 19, that goes into first-time homebuyer programs. There is several first-time homebuyer programs nationally as well as locally in your state. And I'll put a link down in the description where you can actually find out the first-time homebuyer programs that are available in your state, where you could actually find out and if you can get down payment and assistance, maybe even grants where you don't have to pay anything back. And there are great programs that have low interest rates as well, and not every bank does them. So you're going to want to go through this list, find out what they are, and then ask the banks that you're talking to if they actually have those, and compare them with FHA loans and conventional loans. Number 19 is, when you're looking for and working with an agent, the most important thing for you to consider when choosing or working with an agent is that agent's experience. I can't understate this at all. It is so important that the agent you're working with is experienced, because you're going to have to put all of your trust into that agent to guide you through the process, especially in this very competitive oversold market, because there's not very much out there. So relying on that agent is imperative. But you're going to have to make sure that that agent has experience. The experience that I would recommend is that they've done several transactions. If they've been in the business for a short period of time, that's okay. But you want to see that they've done 20, 30, 40 transactions in the last 2 to 5 years to make sure that they have the experience that is necessary to get you across the finish line. Number 17 is, don't buy the biggest house on the block. When you're finding the home that you want to make sure that it's not the biggest, the grandest in that neighborhood. Here's the reality, is that homes are valued based on surrounding homes. So what will happen is, if you buy the most expensive and the biggest and the nicest home in that area, your home is great for all of the other homes. Your home will help bring up the value. But when you go to sell your home and they compare the homes around you, those homes are going to hold the value of your home down, and it won't appreciate as much compared to a home identical to yours in an area that has bigger and better homes, because that area is going to be more desirable because people like to be in fancy, nice neighborhoods. And so when you're looking at a home, find something either on the lower end, small side, or things that you would have to update to mid-grade homes where it's about the average middle of the run type of house in that specific area. And that moves right along to number 16. When you're looking at these homes, don't be swept away by the staging. Staging does not stay with the house, but boy, does it make an impression on buyers. There's a statistic in real estate that says that staged homes sell for 10% more. Can you imagine that? If you have two homes identical, one's vacant and one is staged, decked out to the nines, this one is going to sell for 10% more. That's huge. So don't be blown away by the staging, because you could overpaying compared to finding a home that's just vacant. And if you have the imagination to see what it could be, you're probably going to end up getting a better deal and not pay nearly as much as a home that is completely staged. And again, this moves right into number 15. If you have the capacity, I encourage you to buy a home that is outdated but has great bones. What makes a home very valuable is the bones, is the flow, is the structure of the actual house. If it has great bones, it doesn't matter what you do to the cosmetics, it's going to be a desirable home. But if you do the cosmetics, if you do your own updating, it's going to increase the value of that so much more than a home that doesn't have a really good flow plan. So if you find yourself looking at homes and you find yourself going, this feels awkward, don't buy that home. Find one that flows well, that feels good as you're walking through the house. And I promise you, when the market turns or the market goes down, your home will still be very desirable because people like the flow of a home that they live in. Number 14, going back to our conversation with lenders, when you're looking at those three different lenders, I encourage you to look at local banks. Don't go towards the national brands. Here's the reality, is national brands are bigger banks that have bigger budgets that are looking for bigger deals. The small guy, the person that's just trying to get a single family home, $200,000 to $400,000, $500,000 property, they are not at the top priority of that national branch's list. They make their lending practices, their policies to favor bigger deals. However, if you go to credit unions, local small banks that are in your town, you're probably going to get better customer service and you're going to get better financing situations because they make their bread and butter based on residential housing and single family buyers looking to buy single family homes. Number 13, when you're looking at homes and you're looking at older homes, consider getting a home warranty. I encourage you to have a home warranty, especially in this market where very, very, very few inspections are actually taking place because the market's so competitive. One way you can mitigate that risk on an older home is getting and paying for a home warranty, whether it's you out of your pocket, where they range from anywhere from $500 to $750 to having the seller cover it and you not do an inspection at all. A home warranty will cover the furnace, the AC, your electrical, the plumbing, anything on the inside of your house that breaks down. Instead of having to pay for a full replacement of a furnace, you're paying a deductible of $100 and you're going to get it repaired or replaced. And I personally have had this done multiple times on older furnaces and older ACs where they're 15, 20 years old. And I call them up and say, hey, it's acting up, send somebody out. They send somebody out and that service provider ends up recommending that it's replaced instead of just repaired. And so I've only spent $100 on a few of my furnaces instead of paying $4,000 to $7,000 getting it completely replaced. In line with that, in number 12, if you don't want to get a home warranty or you're just overall concerned about inspections, consider buying a home that's 7 years old or newer. Typically, homes that are 7 years or old or newer have very, very minimal issues with the properties themselves, and you can almost be rested assured that if you don't do an inspection, if you don't get a home warranty, that the problems that are going to surface are going to be very, very minimal and not be major issues down the road. There are always exceptions. So when you're walking through the home, you want to have that experienced agent that we referenced earlier that knows what to look for. When I'm walking through a house and my buyers are being oohed and awed by the floor plan, by the design, dreaming about where they're going to put their TV, their couch, their dining room table, I'm looking at the furnace, the AC, the windows, the siding, the roof, and making sure the foundation, everything is in order, that in my opinion, this would be an okay home to buy and not do a home inspection on. So you're going to have to rely on your realtor on that one as well. Tip number 11, while you're starting out the search process, you're probably looking online. Don't select the get a showing now and get connected to a realtor, because you have no idea who that realtor is, number one. Number two, that realtor pays to get in front of you. And number three, you don't know the experience level of that realtor. So my recommendation is this: get a referral or look at several reviews online. If you don't have anybody you can trust in your area, I have relationships throughout the country, and I'd be happy to connect you with somebody that I know that does phenomenally well representing their clients in your area, and I can see if I know somebody in your area. So just put a comment below this video or reach out by email, and I'd be happy to check into that for you. There you have it, guys. Number 20 to number 10. Guys, check out this video right here where we're going to go through number 10 to number 1. And out of those 10, I'd probably say number 2 and number 4 are probably some of the ones that I wish I knew when I was looking as a brand new agent, so you'll definitely want to check those out. But guys, I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. Consider liking and subscribing, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.